Hi, I'm Bill and welcome to my channel. I'm starting to stage my scope and my mount out in the backyard, getting ready for tonight, although the cloud forecast is showing probably around 7 o'clock clouds are going to come in, but we'll see. But the purpose of this video is, as you see here, I have my Zenithstar 61 Mod 2 and I have my Canon 6D full frame camera. I am going to add my Fuji X-T1 into the mix, and I wanted to share that with you in case some of you who are following the channel are Fuji shooters. I'll go inside in a little bit and continue the video and show you what I ordered in order to mount the Fuji X-T1 onto the Zenithstar 61 Mod 2. I'll also go into a little bit about the cloud forecasting application I use to help me understand when clouds might be coming in. And we'll touch on the difference between the type of Bayer sensor versus in the Fuji X-T1, it's an X-Trans sensor. And there are differences, and I think through me using both cameras, I'm going to find out what those differences are. Some people say the Fuji will show the hydrogen alpha a little bit more than the Canon 6D may, and I'll go into those aspects when I start to dig into the sensor and what I've been learning about the sensor and what I've kind of taken away as the important things as a sensor. But really the important thing is to let those that are following know that I'm also going to be using the Fuji X-T1 for data acquisition, for capturing images, and I thought that might be helpful to you so you can make a decision if that's of interest to you, so you can continue to follow on that. The other thing I wanted to point out is here is the QHY Polemaster. I was able to get it operational a few nights ago when there were no clouds. I'd say I spent about 30 minutes doing the polar alignment with the QHY Polemaster. Part of that was I just wasn't familiar with the workflow to do the alignment. It's reasonably well driven by prompts within the software that you use to do the polar alignment. And I was successful in getting a good polar alignment with the Polemaster rather. One thing, I didn't really read the instructions before trying to use it, and maybe I should read the manual. But this has a connector on the side. I started with that connector down on the bottom, and then the orientation of what I was seeing within the image was off. So per the instructions, you want to make the this connector here that where you attach a cable that then goes to a USB hub. You want it on the side to the left as you're looking at it. So I just thought I'd point that out. All right, so I'm pretty excited. And the reason I'm adding the Fuji X-T1 into the mix is I found out yesterday when I was doing some Googling that Astro Pixel Processor, which is the image processing software that I am going to start with, supports the Fuji X-Trans file types. So wow, bonus there. So I might as well bring this into the mix. And the other thing I'm going to show you once I get inside is what the difference in field of view I should expect between the Canon 6D and the Fuji X-T1. And as you would expect, the Fuji X-T1 being a crop sensor, it's going to give me a little bit more reach than the full frame Canon 6D, but I'll touch on that briefly. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot tonight about the Fuji X-T1 or the Polemaster, just to let you know that videos around the Polemaster and the Fuji X-T1 will be forthcoming as I dig into using each. I'll share what I'm learning with you through the videos. So why don't we take a walk inside, or I'll walk inside and continue this video. But if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up, and as always, I welcome new subscribers, and I want to say thank you to those people who have subscribed to the channel. And already I'm seeing the effect of comments that the viewers are leaving are helping me as a beginner get up that learning curve. So the video's not over. Give me a few minutes and I'll be back with the rest of the show. Okay, so to mount my Fuji X-T1 to my William Optics Zenithstar 61 Mod 2, I needed this 48mm T-mount for the Fuji FX cameras. And I checked High Point Scientific and OPT, and they were both on back order. As you can see here, more on the way in 14 to 28 days. And that's okay with me because the Canon is, I've got plenty to keep busy getting the Canon up and running. And just a brief update, I was able to do some data acquisition using Sequence Generator Pro the other night. The next clear night I get, I'm going to work on the plate solving capability within Sequence Generator Pro using the PlaneWave software. And eventually I'll get to where I can plate solve to ensure the target's in the center of my field of view, and then I'll start collecting data with my Canon 6D over the course of a night. The other thing I needed for the Fuji, I needed a tether cable. So I have a Tether Tools tether cable for my Canon 6D. I purchased it when I was doing portrait photography and had a small studio. So I have a lot of confidence in their cables. They might be a little bit more expensive. Maybe you can find the cable somewhere else for less money. But I got the Tether Tools USB 2 to micro B 5-pin cable. That should be coming tomorrow. Let's just touch briefly on the difference between the Canon 6D and the Fuji X-T1. I'm using this image from Petapixel. They had an article on the Bayer sensor, which is on the, let me get rid of these ads, the Bayer versus the X-Tran. On the left hand side is the Bayer. That's basically the red, green, green, blue pattern versus how Fuji handles their sensors, which happen to be made by Sony, in what they call the X-Trans sensor. I'm not going to go into a lot on this now. I need to learn more about the X-Tran sensor. I have been becoming knowledgeable in pixel size, pixel density, the well depth of pixels, and actually I'll be able after a while to share some of that knowledge with you, and also in comparison between the Bayer of the Canon, the X-Tran of the Fuji, the larger pixel size of the Canon versus the smaller pixel size of the Fuji. So as I gain that knowledge, I'll share some of that with you when I feel I'm qualified to present accurate and factual information. The other thing I want to touch on is an application that I use. This is windy.com. I'm a certified single engine plane pilot. I'm not current right now. I haven't been flying in a year or two, but you retain your certificate, and if I wanted to fly again, I'd have to go up and spend some time with an instructor to get requalified for that. But the point is, Windy to me has been a really good application for both winds, and now I see they have clouds. I never used that feature before, but just to give you a little view, it might be something you want to use. I also use Clear Out from FLO. That's on my Android phone. That's a good forecasting tool, although many a times when they said there's going to be heavy cloud cover in that app, there were not clouds. And maybe the San Francisco Bay Area is a tough area when it comes to forecasting clouds. But anyway, let's go back to where we are right now. Well, no, that was actually that was Thursday at 1 a.m. So let's try to get, what are we at? We're about, we'll just start at 2 p.m. right now. So, you know, I don't know about you, but I'm looking up at the sky a lot. So I went outside today and I looked, and it's reasonably clear of clouds. But as often is the case, come evening time around here, the clouds start to come in. So I'm going to run this application. Hopefully it displays well for you. And as you can see, the clouds start changing over time. All right, let's stop there. So what it's telling me is right around 7 o'clock tonight, 5 p.m. it's clear. I'm right down in this area down here by the San Carlos Airport. There's San Francisco Airport, San Carlos. So I'm kind of in the middle. So again, right now it looks good, but this app is telling me come 6 p.m. the clouds are going to start to come in, and they're going to stay in until, let's see how long, sometime Friday morning around 11 a.m. and then as I proceed through into Friday evening, it's looking pretty good as far as clouds. So tomorrow night is the night I'm going to be out there to get my plate solving practice, or you know, do it for the first time, start to learn about it. I probably won't do any video as I'm learning, but once I start to get an understanding of plate solving and can actually do it, then I'll do a video and share that with you. Just one more thing I wanted to do and then just kind of close it out. I don't know if you're familiar with Astronomy Tools, but this got a great field of view calculator, and this is what I used when I was trying to understand for the focal length of the telescope that I was looking to purchase, paired with my camera, what the expected field of view would look like relative to different deep sky objects. So just briefly here, I have the M31 Andromeda Galaxy. I have my Zenithstar 61 listed here, and I have my Fujifilm X-T1. There's also an option for Canon. There's an option for a lot of other cameras as well, including dedicated Astro cameras. So we're going to leave that alone because I've already run this. But what I want to show, and hopefully you can see it, this yellow outer box is the expected field of view with my Zenithstar 61 and the Canon 6D. And the Zenithstar 61 has a 380 millimeter focal length, and my Canon 6D is a full frame processor. But if I use the Fuji X-T1, since it is a crop processor, APS-C, it is going to give me a little bit more reach. So using the Fuji, this would be the expected field of view. So I just wanted to touch on that. If you haven't got your telescope yet, you haven't got your or paired your camera with your telescope, or maybe you're just going to be a DSLR shooter with lenses, this tool can help you understand, given the focal length of the lens or the telescope, matched with your camera or even a dedicated Astro camera, what the expected field of view should look like if you try to image that object. Alright, so that's about all I had. Again, I hope this is helpful. I wanted to get it out there that I'm also going to be using the Fuji X-T1. I've seen some fantastic images images on Astrobin. I understand again it lets through a little bit more of the hydrogen alpha than my unmodded Canon 6D does. I'll find these things out. I'll share that information with you, and you know, that'll give me some additional work bringing the Fuji X-T1 into the mix. And the way it's looking right now, the money I was hoping to put together for my dedicated Astro Cam, it's a little slow in coming together, but that dedicated Astro Cam is on my roadmap for the end of 2021, and I've got so much to keep me busy right now in the meantime, let alone just digging into the image processing side. So anyway, I went a little bit long here, but again, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. I welcome new subscribers, and it's your comments and questions that can really help not only me get up the learning curve, but others who may be viewing the comments and questions get up the learning curve as well. So thanks for dropping into the channel. Until next time.